Born on April 3, 1923 in Syria, Anthony Norman Sabga retired in 1999 as executive chairman of the ANSA Group of companies. He was among the last of the Syrian Lebanese immigrants to Trinidad and Tobago in 1930. From a family of 6 children, Anthony Sabga began working in his father's business at the age of 13. In 1945, he established his own business, Standard Distributors Limited. This business grew to become the powerful ANSA Group of companies by 1964. This group was so successful that it won the first Prime Minister's Award for Export Performance in 1968. Subsequently, the takeover of McAnany Oldstons by ANSA took place. ANSA currently comprises of 48 companies in Trinidad and Tobago, the rest of the Caribbean and the United States of America, with a combined workforce of over 5,200. Mr. Anthony Norman Sabga, perceived as a legend, known as a man of extraordinary vision and drive, was awarded the Shakonia Gold Medal on August 31, 1998. On October 11, 1998, the title Master Entrepreneur was conferred on him. Shortly thereafter, in October 1998, he was awarded the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws of the University of the West Indies. He talks about the most memorable incident in his life.
As a young boy, about 15 years of age, I was made responsible for my father's little haberdashery business. Straight from school, I had no clue what I was doing, but there was no choice. I had to come in because my father was very ill. The confidence that was placed in me perhaps was the most outstanding achievement. I felt that I was trusted. I was given a mandate, and I could not allow myself to fail. I wanted to achieve. I wanted to succeed, and nothing really mattered as far as I'm concerned.
For Anthony Sabga, family has always been most important, and his sense of achievement is intertwined with family happiness and progress.
My family have always been very important to me. I do not believe that I could have achieved anything without the support of the family which I have. I believe it's a total package of achievement. Providing for a family is one, securing what is required for them, educating your family, having gone through that period of little or nothing. There was a value attached. There was a dedication to achieve, to provide the family what they need. This I did not have in my youth. When my friends would be playing cricket or football, I was involved in doing something in terms of selling or making something for sale. I had a dedication to really achieve, to get on with some kind of business, because what my father had was very little, small little shop in the home. So there was a struggle always to make 2 ends meet.
Early experiences in life shaped Anthony Sabga and his sense of responsibility.
I was made responsible for what I do. I had very little guidance. It is wonderful to look back at those learning days. I very often refer my mind back on some of these experiences in my day-to-day activities, where I can help other people to reform or remold their thinking. But the responsibility was the main thing. I was made a man before my time.
Total self-reliance and confidence are qualities that have shaped the industrial genius.
It gave me a feeling of independence. I had to rely on my own decisions because I had no one in my early days to consult or to discuss. I had to make decisions on my own. And although they were probably of little or no importance to begin with, it was the training grounds that made the difference. There's no question about it. I'm not afraid to make decisions because if something is wrong, I'm the first to correct it. I will start with something and knock it down into shape as we go along. Whereas other people will think and procrastinate to make decisions because they probably don't want to make a wrong decision. And therefore it is really useless. When they decide that probably it's no longer valid. When McInerney was in financial difficulties, I underestimated the problem when I called Conrad O'Brien and offered him some financial assistance. And he told me that what I had in mind will not be able to revive the company. After 3 months, I met with Conrad and I said, it would be a shame that a company like this, which is over 100 years, should be going through this difficulty. And I indicated that I would be interested in acquiring. And believe it, I did not have the management, or I didn't have any idea 2 weeks before that I would be making such a proposal. But because of the company being one of the best in the country, reputation-wise and integrity, I felt it was an opportunity. And I really never looked back. The acquisition of the McInerney Olson's company was undoubtedly the greatest achievement. If you take too long to make a decision, it becomes really useless at times.
Decision-making for Anthony Sabga has never been hard.
I don't think there is anything that I could remember that was a hard decision. Even choosing a wife was not a hard decision. I saw somebody and within a few days I asked her, will you marry me? And I never regretted it. I don't know there's any decision that comes out particularly hard. It became very difficult eventually when you had to give authority to others because you were made a man before your time and therefore you pick up the habit of making decisions spontaneously. It goes both ways. Sometimes I think that decisions should be taught, but not having to account to anybody in my youth have given me a pattern of life.
For him, making mistakes is human, but being afraid of taking decisions is recipe for failure before you even begin.
As long as you can recognize that something which may not develop to what you want, you should correct it. I cannot say that making a wrong decision is an impediment. I think you learn from your experience. Don't want to make a wrong decision, then it cannot lead, no. The confidence you create among your colleagues by making decisions is in itself a motivation for others.
Anthony Sabga faced a challenge which helped to form his character at the age of 13.
I remember when, at a very young age, my father had a promissory note, which I didn't know anything about, and became due. And it was mind-boggling. I didn't know what to do. I was a youngster. I was only about 13, not even 14 as yet. And I went to the bank and told them that I got this promissory note for my father's debt, and I don't have any money. But would you give me enough time, give me some time to find the money to pay? And the bank manager received me. I don't know how he did, but I remember the day when he treated me as a man. He gave me the confidence. It's amazing. A bank manager in those days, the colonial days, receiving a little boy in his office, put him on a pedestal, and made me feel that I had done an honorable thing to meet my father's debt. And I never regretted it. I paid that, and it gave me the feeling that perhaps had a bearing on my integrity in business. It was confidence, not to run you in. In other words, the bank manager gave me the feeling of confidence, gave me the feeling that I can achieve something. And I lived up to it, that's it.
One of the most successful companies in the region and beyond, Anthony Sabga talks about challenges for the ANSA Group in a world of globalization.
We have already started modernizing our factories. We have invested many hundreds of millions of dollars in our factories. We don't see any much growth in Trinidad, but we see the possibility of external growth. The group is very strong financially and is in a position to take advantages of external opportunities. Our diversification is going to be in areas which we know, and what we will call our core business will expand in regional territories. We must take into consideration that whatever we do have to be of a certain size. We cannot spend executive time on what may be small activities. There is opportunities in Trinidad, but if we were to probably take advantage of every opportunity that is available to us, we will be competing with small businesses in Trinidad. And it's not something which we will look forward to.
Anthony Sabga talks about government initiative and how sustainable development and growth can be facilitated.
The most important thing for government is to facilitate what is being developed. To develop a policy which is clear and defined that people will understand and work with it. That, to me, is very important. The opportunity is obviously there. I mean, if a person like myself came here as an immigrant, I can succeed in the way I have succeeded. There are opportunities everywhere. But there's no doubt about it that the government have a role to play. Without government confidence, I don't think we can succeed. There are opportunities in agriculture, perhaps more than probably anything else, to improve the quality of life in Trinidad. There are lots of opportunities, probably in the agriculture section for export, which is a natural thing. We have 365 days a year with beautiful sunshine and rain. This, to me, is a great asset. Trinidad is strategically located between North and South America, transit business. We have not taken advantage of some of our resources.
He feels Trinidad could play a leading role in the Caribbean.
We have to improve our telecommunication in this country. I think it could be the center of the Caribbean for industry and finance. There's no question about it. We have the opportunity. We have all the advantages. We need a few pieces of legislation that would make us very much more attractive, but I think that would come in. You know, banking, offshore banking is one, which we have been taking a long time to put in place, which is an attraction to lots of developments to the tourist industry.
Anthony Sabga talks about factors that have contributed to his individual growth, and he feels this progress is important for all.
I don't think I would ever stop learning. I've had to educate myself to start with because I had no secondary education. And I developed a love for reading and acquiring whatever knowledge from publications and so on. But to say that I have stopped learning, I don't think that is. I mean, every day I learn something new. And perhaps that is the most exciting part of life today, that what I'm seeing around, whether it is the satellites, whether it's television, it is an exciting period we are going through now. And it's wonderful, it's really wonderful to look back and see the process of development in the world over the last 50 years. I mean, I have seen the development from the horse and buggy to rockets to the moon in one generation. I mean, the world is becoming very small and interesting. The learning process must be in the businesses in which people are placed. That is in itself a learning process. We have seen over the last 10 years where the progress with our managers have developed within the group. In other words, we have grown our own management over the last 10 years, and this in itself will develop into other areas. We have emphasized upon education to some extent, and we do what we can in that learning process by assisting whatever institutions. We pay a great deal of attention to this. We rely to a great extent on the university graduates, but Trinidad, the West Indies or abroad, to recruit the quality of people we need, who eventually make a contribution to the nation, either through us or elsewhere. That's probably the normal process of development.
The Sabga family has traditionally played a leadership role in the community.
My family have always been very involved among the Syrian community. You probably know that my great uncle was referred to as the patriarch of the Syrian community. Integrity and honesty have been a very important part of what I do. Whether it's with the community, a business at large. I think people like doing business with everything in which I am connected with, because I think satisfaction has been a very important part of anything that I did. I mean, a person were to buy an outfit that he's not satisfied with, he's offered his money back right away. We had a case quite recently where we had 100-something motor cars which were defective, and we had everyone taken back and given new cars and our money back. These things make a big difference. In other words, I don't think there is any fear of people doing any business with any member of our company, because it comes straight on back to me.
On the initiative of Mr. Anthony Sabga, the ANSA Foundation was formed in February 1986 to assist charitable causes.
We contribute at the moment to our charitable foundation a minimum of 1% of the gross profits. And the idea is that I felt that we must have a charitable foundation that will be strong enough into the future, that will not be dependent on any contribution. It should be self-sufficient. We have achieved a certain measure of success. We are hoping that this foundation will be able to grow to about $40 million, which will then be able to do some of the more important things in education, charity, and so on. There is a need in this country for assistance to some organization who are worthy of that support. We have not done what we would like as yet, but hopefully within another couple of years, when the foundation will be financially self-supporting. And this is being done at the rate of a few $1 million every year with our present profitability. And we're happy to see that this is the case. Apart from that, we do a certain amount of community effort. Every company looks after its own little community in whatever little ways of encouragement, support, lectures, school training, and that sort of thing. But we would like to see our resources put to use for the benefit of some of the communities in which we are in. When a company have reached our stage, we could look at where we can make a contribution. And this is important.
Anthony Sabga considers his family to be his greatest achievement.
I think my greatest achievement is my family, which is in my own image. I have 28 grandchildren, 6 of which will be probably leaving universities very shortly. The unity among my family, the blessings which we have to know that there have never been any disaster, there have been nothing in health or otherwise that affected my family. It really is a blessing. That is, in my view, a blessing to have accomplished a family in your own image. At my age, I don't really feel there's much more to be accomplished. My main objective now is to keep the family happy. My mother and father kept a happy home in their illiterate way. They set standards by which we live by. And I don't remember there ever sweeping the dirt below the carpet and saying somebody is coming. Everything was natural. My father was a very, very wise man. And if I had the chance, I probably would want to live it over. Even to the snowball and the tulum that I remember as a little boy, I would love to see that again.
Commenting about his career achievements, he says,
"It's nice to be recognized. Personally, it doesn't mean very much to me. I have other accomplishment which makes me very happy. But I think for my family and my grandchildren, it has been a very interesting. I know how they feel, and it has given them a great deal of joy to know that their grandfather or their father have achieved or have been recognized. What I particularly pleased about is that at last the business community is being considered, which had not been the case in the past. And I hope that this will be done into the future, because The business community are the people who makes the country really roll along. They should be recognized much more in the future.
A man with a world of experience and knowledge, Anthony Sabga says that in this country, possibilities in business are infinite.
I think there is a great deal of desire for people to get into business. They are being encouraged. I think the government itself have been developing this sort of small business program, which is quite good. Maybe a bit of learning, a bit of lectures, maybe the area where people need to understand how to borrow money, how to pay, and so on. But I don't think we are doing badly. It's a process of learning. There is far more people today who wants to get into business than ever before. And the opportunities are there, really.
Anthony Sabga hopes that the ANSA Group continues on the path of growth long into the future.
Now that we are a public company, I will want everybody to feel very proud in their investment is justified, and they are getting what they would consider as an acceptable return on their investment. If I am to look after myself, I will automatically look after my shareholders. There is the difference in the ANSA company because our investment is very substantial. We are not a minority interest. Therefore, that gives any investor the confidence that their interests will be protected as I would protect my soul. I would hope that that feeling will continue long after I have left. It's a good feeling. I think there are people who have put their money in ANSA because of their confidence in me. And this is quite a responsibility.
He has succession plans in place as he eases out of the ANSA scene.
I think I'm very fortunate. There are quite a few people in place for succession for the future. We have the executives in place. We already have a deputy chairman. I feel very confident in probably looking at the future.
Final words of wisdom from the business leader exemplar.
I think a business that is developed or have the foundation of integrity will grow. Now, I don't think any business would last without a foundation. Once one is dedicated to something and wants something badly, he makes it happen.
A true patriot, a Caribbean man, a business tycoon, Mr. Anthony Sabga has kept his Lebanese tang alive. Seen as a godfather of the Lebanese community, he is a loving father and grandfather. A man who shuns the limelight, cherishes Christian morals. He is a man who commands respect.